Welcome to Artzenu, where we tour and travel through our homeland, through Israel. Join us on this week's amazing adventure.
Zion, 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 Berachamim. Zion, 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 Berachamim.
We're here at St. Mary's City, which is one of the first places founded in the state of Maryland. It's interesting because this is an archaeological dig. It's a place where we dig through the ground, the earth, and find different historical remnants, things that teach us about things that were here, the history that was here before. Let's take a quick visit to an archaeological dig, one of the most famous and oldest archaeological digs in the entire world, where the Bahar Habayit is in Yerushalayim. This excavation was discovered over the summer and only made public last week. Let's hear from the people who did the excavation.
Behind me is the Western Wall. In the excavations beneath Wilson's Arch, we have exposed 8 courses of one of the most important walls in the history of Jerusalem, stones that haven't seen light for 1,700 years.
I feel it's a great privilege to have the opportunity to excavate in this place. As the excavation went along, we saw the different stages of Jerusalem, which represent the different stages of the history of the city. It's very exciting.
We're here beneath Wilson's Arch, a large arch which supported a bridge connecting between the city to the west and the Temple Mount to the east. One of the major questions is, when was this arch that we see today, when was it built? We don't have a good answer for that yet from the excavations. What we do have is something that we didn't expect whatsoever.
We know from historical sources that there was a theater in Jerusalem, and for about 150 years, researchers and archaeologists were looking for the theater unsuccessfully.
סר צ'ארלס וורן, הוא היה הארכיאולוג והחוקר הראשון שגילה את מערכת מנהרות הכותל. פיר אחד הוא חופר למרגלות הכותל המערבי, ופיר שני הוא חופר בדיוק במקום שאני יושב פה. מה שאתם יכולים לראות, את הקרקוב הזה, את הדבר הזה, משום מה, צ'ארלס וורן פספס לפני כ-150 שנה.
During the excavations, a complete surprise was exposing in the center of the excavation area a theater-like structure, the first of its kind to be exposed in Jerusalem.
In year 70, the temple was destroyed, and the city changed from a Jewish city into a Roman city. And part of those changes was also these entertainment or leisure buildings, which is expected to find in every Roman city.
We know theaters or theater-like structures are mentioned in historical sources, for example in Josephus. I don't know if that's the same building that's mentioned in these historical sources, but what we have begun to uncover is the importance of the city, which had basic Roman functional structures such as theaters or theater-like complexes in Jerusalem, known as Ilia Capitolina at the time.
There are a few elements here that give us some hints that this building was never completed. We see some of the staircases aren't carved completely. There's a pilaster here carved on the wall of the orchestra of the theater-like structure. We see that on one side it's completed. Over here we see that someone marked where the carving should have been done, but it was never completed.
It's possible that the building was never finished in relation to the Bar Kokhba revolt. Perhaps they began to build the structure, the Bar Kokhba revolt erupts, and they leave the structure unfinished, not returning to it.
We still didn't finish the excavation. Just a few weeks ago, we started exposing a drainage channel dated to the Second Temple period, which predates this theater-like structure. Cut by that drainage channel is a massive wall, which brings us earlier in Second Temple period. Right now, that's the earliest element we know in our excavation. As the excavation goes on, as we continue, we hope to have more answers, obviously more questions too.
ארץ אהבת חלב,
חלב ודבש,
ארץ אהבת חלב,
חלב ודבש,
ארץ אהבת חלב,
חלב ודבש,
ארץ אהבת חלב,
חלב ודבש.